A soft wind moved across a quiet field. In the middle of the field, almost too small to see, lay a tiny seed. It did not look special. It was just a little brown speck on the ground. Birds did not stop to admire it. People walking by did not notice it. But inside that small seed lived something huge, a dream of becoming a giant tree. One day the wind blew harder. It lifted the seed and rolled it across the field. The seed bounced, turned, and finally fell into a crack in the soil. Rain came. The ground grew soft and dark. Slowly, the seed sank deeper, away from the light. Down in the soil, everything was cold, wet, and heavy. Earth pressed in from every side. Stones and roots took up space. The seed felt alone. Is this the end? It wondered. Did the world bury me and walk away? Days turned into weeks. Nothing seemed to happen. There was no sky, no birds, only darkness and weight. If the seed had been like many people, it might have said, "My dream was foolish," and given up. But in a place too small for eyes to see, a quiet work began. A tiny root, thinner than a hair, pushed out from one side. It felt its way through the soil, searching for water and room to grow. From the other side, a tiny shoot reached upward, not knowing where the surface was, only trusting that somewhere above there was light. The seed was breaking. Its hard shell cracked and fell away. "This hurts," the seed could have said. "I am not who I used to be." But this breaking was not the end of the seed. It was the beginning of the tree. One morning, after many days of pushing and reaching, the tiny green shoot finally touched the open air. Light fell on it. The wind kissed its small leaves. From far away, the sprout still looked weak and unimportant. The field was big. The sprout was smaller than a child's finger. A passing boy pointed and asked his grandfather, "What is that? So tiny?" "That," the old man said, "is a tree that has not grown yet." The sprout did not hear their words, but it felt the sun and the rain and kept growing. Every day it lifted its leaves toward the light and sent its roots deeper into the earth. Some days were easy with soft rain. Some days were hard with storms that bent its thin stem almost to the ground. During one storm, the sky turned dark and the wind came like a shout. Rain hit the field in hard drops. The little plant shook, its stem bending low. "I am too small for this," it thought. But deep under the ground, its roots held on. The same force that tried to push it over also pushed its roots to grow stronger. When the storm passed, the plant stood up again, a little bent, but still alive. Seasons turned. The plant grew from sprout to young tree. Its stem thickened into a trunk. Branches reached out. Leaves multiplied, turning sunlight into life. Birds rested on its branches. Children sat under it on hot days. Tired workers leaned their backs against its trunk. No one remembered the time when it had only been a speck on the ground. But the tree remembered the darkness, the breaking, the storms, and how slow every change had felt. One afternoon, a young girl came to sit beneath its shade. Her face was wet with tears. In her hand, she held a notebook full of drawings and ideas, but she had closed it and pressed it to her chest. "I am not good enough," she whispered. "My dream is too big. I am too small. Nothing is changing." She leaned her head against the trunk and closed her eyes. If the tree could speak, it would have said, "Little one, your dream is a seed. It is not a giant tree yet, but that does not mean it never will be. Growth is slow and often hidden. You do not see a tree grow in one day. But if you keep caring for the seed, if you keep showing up, one day you will find something strong where there was once almost nothing. There will be days when you feel buried, not planted. Those are the days your roots can grow deeper. So do not throw your seed away because you are impatient." The girl did not hear those exact words, but as she sat there, a calm feeling slowly filled her chest. She opened her notebook again. Her drawings had not changed, but her eyes had. Instead of seeing failure, she saw a beginning. "Maybe," she thought, "I only planted the seed. It is not fair to expect a giant tree in one season." She lifted her pencil and drew one more line. The tree stood quietly above her, a reminder that every giant tree once began as a tiny seed that refused to give up.